There's no rest for the wicked, guys. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've always wondered when the EOS fudsters would finally sit there and lick their wounds and say, okay, I should be owning EOS and I should be stacking EOS. Now I'm going to continue to get fudsters in the comment section that are still going to cite all these situations and act like the EOS is somehow a failure or it's a letdown or it's going to zero or all these kind of things. And it's so strange to me. It's like they're so jealous that everything that was said from the beginning has come to fruition with EOS. The only thing that EOS hodlers can really kind of be upset about is just price action. But that's with any of these cryptos right now for the most part, except a few examples in the altcoin market and obviously Bitcoin. If you're buying obviously in December 2018 stacking Bitcoins, then you have 3x your money. So you can't really complain there. Other situations, Litecoin, say you were stacking then, you've 2x'd at least even at current pricing, that kind of stuff. So there are a few examples of that, but you could sit there and say the same thing, that EOS dipped below $2, and if you're obviously accumulating right then you're talking 330, 340, $3.40, whatever. So you could have caught a 2x kind of thing there, timing wise and all that kind of stuff. But let's go back to what was promised and why everybody was creating so much FUD and why people continue to create FUD, and how even this recent situation with the CPU is, it's not even something you can really cite, because yes, there are some issues with CPU. Everybody's, figuring out workarounds. You might have to stake more EOS to CPU to kind of continue and, send transactions and do what you're trying to do on the network. But at the end of the day, we're not even having this conversation with something like Ethereum, because the transaction volume on the EOS network is 50 to 100 times what it is on Ethereum. You're not even close to that capacity on Ethereum or these other chains. So it's almost comical when people cite this stuff. Then even the stuff that we've even listed internally, like, sock puppet accounts for the block producers and these kind of things, and vote trading and sock puppetry and all that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, okay, that's a byproduct of delegated proof of stake and the situation at hand and all that kind of stuff. But you have to understand, the blocks are still getting, the transactions are still getting processed and all that kind of stuff. Let's say we go to Bitcoin, and what are all those Chinese miners, what kind of development are they doing, to, improve Bitcoin's code base and stuff like that? Well, they're not doing anything. And that's the only thing that people are upset with, is that, yeah, there's block producers like Graymass and others that have done a lot to help out the ecosystem and have created tools for EOS and stuff like that. And they're not getting voted as highly as some of these kind of sock puppet accounts or these, block producer accounts that are just producing transactions, processing transactions. So that's the argument there. But again, it was like the other day, I did the calculation and EOS was doing 93 times the number of operations that were currently happening on the Ethereum network. So it's not even in the same realm. It's not even in the same category. So, even if someone took a step back, or they took a step out of it for a while, or they were upset about the price scenario and all that kind of stuff like that, when you go back to it and you look at, all the things like Scatter, like the Graymass wallet, being able to connect on blocks.io, getting your CPU paid for on blocks.io, EOS Authority, some of the tools there, just like all the different things, you're just looking at it. It's just like, well, this is light years ahead. So people are saying, well, where's the dApps? Where's the dApps? And like, yeah, you have the gambling dApps, and you have some of these game dApps and stuff like that. And of course, eventually we're going to have more, social network, related stuff. We obviously have Karma, and then there's a few other dApps and stuff like that trying to utilize it. The tough thing, just building in a bear market, and I've made videos about this before, is that these crypto bear markets are so bad, and it is upsetting. It's almost like almost nobody can sustain themselves through the bear market, except for a few very, very brilliant programmers. And for the most part, even there's a lot of brilliant programmers that aren't making any money right now through the bear market either. So it's like, well, can the traders make money? Well, timing's tough. So most of them, no. Um, People like us, we're stacking, 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 stacking. And that is what's going to be the most important, because like I've talked about, if you're keeping your eyes open, if you're subscribing to some of these YouTube channels where people are talking about this stuff and not being asleep at the switch and just kind of like letting it, set it and forget it kind of thing, like you're typically going to do with Bitcoin or Litecoin or, Digibyte, these kind of things. If you are being a little bit more active, you can keep accumulating more and more and more. Again, with EOS, we got the SOV air grab from the Genesis accounts. We got the BBT air grab that the first round just came out. Got another little stack out of that. Voting for proxies who are paying back, vote for value, and Colin Talks Crypto has one, where we're earning more staked CPU every day. We're making more from the REX, from the resource exchange. The prophecy fulfilled itself. Everything that was said, that what EOS was going to be and that people are going to get these, sister chains, people got their Telos, people got their other stuff, Warbly, all this kind of stuff. If they did the KYC, which I didn't. And then, let's say you went through that stuff, you got all these sister chain accounts, you got all these airdrops. If you're selling the airdrops, you're stacking more EOS, and then you're rexing it out and earning more EOS. And then you're voting for these proxies who are paying out, paying back, part of the reward. You're stacking more EOS, and you just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. Since 2017, I haven't sold any of my EOS. I just keep stacking because I know what's going to happen this next bull run. People are going to chase what they perceive to be cheap, and they're going to read a little bit about it. They didn't go through all this drama. And they're going to look at it, whether it's $5, whether it's $8, whether it's $15, whatever it is, it's going to be cheap in comparison to other things like Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ether, these kind of things. And then, the price value psychologically in itself, even outside of any utility, is just going to pull people in. They're going to buy it. They're going to take some of that. And then if they learn a few things about it. It's like, oh, this is the fastest blockchain. Oh, it's doing 100 times the transactions that Ethereum is doing. They just, literally you can sum up everything in one paragraph, and it's like, well, yeah, this looks better. And oh, it's got half-second blocks instead of 15-second blocks. Oh, well, that sounds good. And then they're gonna sit there and buy that. And then all these fudsters, they're gonna still miss out. They're gonna still miss out. And I don't know. I mean, it's just, it is kind of comical to me. The thing, I remember that Bix Weir guy. I don't know if you guys remember his channel. He actually had a pretty big following, and he just continually just kept going on about EOS and how it was like a scam and like we weren't going to get the coins and all that stuff. And then it's like, yeah, we got the coins, and then we got other coins for the sister chains. And yeah, we keep getting the airdrops, and we keep stacking more EOS. So I don't know, guys. It is really comical to me, and I just don't know when some of these people are gonna kind of maybe shake out of that, stop being so tribal, and then the jealousy just brews. It just gets worse and worse, and I'll see it in the comment section, whether it's about EOS or whether it's about another project. People get so locked in, and if the price pumps on some coin that they don't hold, they just get so mad. They get so aggravated. Like, this is BS. This shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening. This is a scam, and it's just, I don't know. It is kind of unreal to me, guys. But at the end of the day, even if it's frustrating, the price is beating you up, all that kind of stuff, if you can just somehow keep stacking, keep earning, keep getting these airdrops, keep doing anything. I mean, I've got coins that there are coins that have no liquidity. I'll tell you, there's EOS's number one benefit, even on top of half-second block times and 100% the transaction capacity or more than Ethereum, all that kind of stuff. Even more than that is the liquidity. It is so important for these projects to have liquidity, and projects want to build on top of it. And when it's a, for the most part, at all the major fiat gateways, obviously it's on Coinbase, it's on Kraken, and it's at these other ones that are maybe U.S. customers are blocked out from and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if history kind of repeats itself and people do gravitate towards Coinbase, and they decide to get on there. I mean, it was the number one app on the App Store during the 2017 boom was the Coinbase app. And if that even somewhat repeats itself this next bull run, people get on there, they earn a little bit EOS, they read into it, learn a little bit, and then it's like, oh, wow, okay, this is better. They do a little bit more research, they see what's out there, and they gravitate what they perceive to be cheap. I think some other stuff is going to fall into this too. I think that stellar lumens will fall into that. For better or for worse, I think this is going to fall into it. Now, I'm not sleeping on Ethereum. I do hold Ether. I do have Ripple. I have, you guys have seen these past videos. It's like pretty much just go down the list. There's very few that I don't own that are really kind of in the top 20 category. So, at least keep a pinky toe in there is kind of my thinking on a lot of these projects. And so I don't ever get super jealous. I don't ever get enraged and become one of these fudsters in the comment section, just going on about nothing, because it's like, yeah, I have a little position there, a little position there. But obviously I got bigger core positions, in things like EOS, and I just continue to stack more. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, what's, what piece of FUD do you think is the most kind of comical? And when do you think the FUDsters, do you think they'll ever snap out of it? Or do you think they'll just continue to just bash EOS almost under the same premises that they're bashing EOS in 2017 or like early 2018, when everything, for the most part, has came true? Remember, it was supposed to be this thing that you were able to rent your EOS and earn on your EOS, kind of like rental income. And that came true with the resource exchange. That came true with, voting for these proxies and getting some back. We keep stacking more. So it's just so funny, man. But anyway, guys, don't forget about the BBT air grab. You can get another stack of EOS from that. And it's going to be a 24-month air grab scenario where, we just keep getting more and more and more and more. And just keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, guys, follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam it, Twitter. See you guys later.